cannot overlook that factor as we consider what happens Sunday night.
The game prep leading up, the conversations you have, we're going to be in this formation. We're going to use this motion. Aaron Rodgers can go, hey, expect this. This is where your eyes should be. 1 and 2, the ball's got to be gone. You saw how much quicker that Zach Wilson played last week. Every time his foot hit the ground, the ball was coming out because he was decisive. He knew what to expect. When you have a guy, and listen, starting quarterbacks call plays in preseason for these quarterbacks. They have a level of comfort with each other. He wants him to succeed, so he's going to give him tips. Hey, this is what they're going to give us. This is what this defense has always done. And the dude's played almost 2 decades. He gets what's going to happen. He gets how defenses are going to make adjustments. That will help Zach Wilson each and every week. It'll get progressively better because of that type of confidence coming from there.
And more importantly, it will help Nathaniel Hackett. I think that Aaron Rodgers' presence calmed Nathaniel Hackett down. Yeah. It made him more comfortable with the situation. He could look over and see that beautiful mustache and feel confident that he can call a nice crossing route and simple stuff for them. So I do think his presence mattered. And I do think that even though I feel like it's a pipe dream that he's going to come back, him saying it, I think it's probably good for that team and probably good for him.
I agree. Kmart, let's talk about what's at stake here in this game for the Jets after everything Sean Payton said about Nathaniel Hackett. When you consider Zach, can he pile up one good game on top of another good game, which would make a huge difference? This feels like a monster week.
This is a huge game. I hope this is Zach Wilson entering his villain era. Like, I really hope this is Zach Wilson saying, like, clear head. Like, I showed what I could be. Like, that's the guy the Jets believed in. Yes, he made a mistake late. But if he can build on that, and also Sean Payton, like, I get Aaron Rodgers is in here, but Sean Payton really dressed all you down. Like, dressed your OC down and was like, he left me with this mess over here in Denver. And guess what? Denver is still a mess. Mm-hmm. So I think for the Jets, if they can, again, go on the road, and Zach can have that confidence. And keep in mind, it's not just Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer. This is Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson's idol.
Yeah.
This is the guy that he has looked up to his whole life as a football player, and he was there in the flesh, and they are still tight. Aaron still talks to him. I really do hope that Zach Wilson, that young, immature kid, has gone, and he can build on this, because now he understands so many jobs hang in the balance based on what I do. Like, I get it now. I hope something clicks for him.
I think Aaron had an impact, but I'm gonna go and get rid of all that doo-doo. The kid played well because he had to. And it was because, no, listen to what I'm about to say. Give me a second. It's because them dudes that's actually on the field with him challenged him to do that.
Tell me.
And Garrett Wilson, the tight end, hey man, let's get going now. Like, it is no longer, and that's why I said what I said last week, G. Let him go out there and throw 7 or see if he can play. Like, this becomes more about who you stepping out there on the football field with. I'm 100% in agreement with y'all that Aaron gave him confidence, probably had those conversations with him, Jeff. Sure. But you know when them live bullets start happening,
no doubt,
it's time to go. And what he did was went. Like, the dude, he ripped the football. It wasn't like, no, oh my God, what I'm about to do. It was a clean rip it. It was on the field, Patrick Mahomes on the other side, give me the rock. I'm finna find my guys one-on-one, and we're going to push the ball down the field. I've had a lot of old school players come back. Charles Haley used to hang around us. It didn't make me play no better. What it made me do was understand how he felt about the game. I think that's the presence of Aaron Rodgers. Hey man, y'all got something here.
That's
like he said before he came.
That's the different part.
But I think Zach mindset, because his coaches empower him to throw the football.
Yeah.
And it's worth asking the question, is anyone buying the fact that Aaron Rodgers will come back this season? If the Jets are in playoff contention in December, will we see this jersey come out of this glass case in emergency, break glass,
say it,
and walk out onto the football field this year?
I think we agree that we are not going to ruin your day. So anything is possible.
No, give me the real answer.
The real answer is maybe. I think it's highly unlikely.
I'll take maybe.
But I guess I think Jeff is the person up here that feels like this is the person who thinks this is more realistic than any of us.
Yeah.
I ain't seen it happen.
Yeah.
I don't expect it to happen.
I saw Cam Akers come back as a running back from an Achilles much quicker than anybody thought he would come back from. As a quarterback, and Aaron playing as long as he has, understanding what's going to be required of it. If this team is in any, he would. And listen, the other part, he got enough in him. I'm not going to say what he got enough in him. He would love to show everybody, I'm going to do it this way and come back.
Only thing.
He got that gear.
You know what?
He got that gear. Y'all hear him.
You know what ain't never had nobody heal faster? Attitude.
Yeah.
Like that ain't
right. That ain't true. Your attitude, your positive attitude, your mental attitude.
I didn't want to use the word that you were thinking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like just being,
you're right. You're right.
Like that don't make no fibers reattach.
He got some.
What is like? How do you come back from an Achilles? Like what we talking about? December?
Yeah.
January? Like, is it even healed? Like I'm not even talking about the rehab.
Yeah.
I want to know are you even healed enough beyond the rehab? Like, G, let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right, let's be real. If Aaron Rodgers can come back, he gonna come back.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The question is not about what he can manifest and the things that he thinking positively. It's literally if it's healed. And if it's healed, he'll be back on the field.
We all know he has his own views on medicine and ways to go about doing it. Maybe he'll be onto something that no one has ever done before, one way or another.
That's what Greeny's believing.
But it's the attention that he draws. He's getting double teamed more than any other edge rusher in football, and that allows the rest of the team to make big plays. I will go next there with a similar position, a similar player, but even more impactful, Myles Garrett. This guy's a monster. 13 quarterback hits so far this season, and he is the guy. The way we talk about how we game plan for certain offensive players, defenses or offenses are terrified, and they figure out how they're going to block this man and then build around that. Next, again, there's a theme. Micah Parsons.
A lot of defense.
The impact of what he is doing on this team and his defense. If they had won that game in Arizona, I might have him even higher than he is now.
Yep.
But he is the key player on this defense, drawing double teams and a little better than Bosa because he still beats those double teams and also gets sacks. So now we get over to the offensive side of the ball. Tyreek Hill, this speed and what it does to the defense is similar to these pass rushers that they draw double teams and it opens things up for other players. But not only is he opening things up for other players, he is making Tua's job so easy. Now we go back to San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey on that offense is the most indispensable player, even more than Brock Purdy in my view. He's he's on track for 20 or 2,500 yards this season, all-purpose from scrimmage. This guy is special. Anytime he gets his hands on the ball, the defense is terrified. So
they've won 14 straight games. He scored a touchdown in every one of them. Whew. That has been the thread of commonality. Now, here are the actual odds for MVP, and as you see...
Quarterback.
Yeah, McCaffrey is the highest rated of the non-quarterbacks, but he is well behind all the quarterbacks. We know it's a QB award, and so the likeliest scenario is that a quarterback wins it. But let's bring it to the table here. If I were to ask you who the MVP should be of the league at this point, we're at the quarter poll. We will take a look and see what everybody here has to say. Swagoo, in your view, you're inclusive of everybody now. We could put the picks up there so everyone can sort of chime in on them. Who would be the MVP in your view?
Guy Foxy just talked about Christian McCaffrey.
Even with the quarterback?
Even with the quarterbacks. I think right now he's impacting the football game more than anybody in football. And it may be because of touches. And he's going to get slighted because Kyle Shanahan is the play caller in that offense. They'll take that into account. But the explosive plays, he has 900 all-purpose yards. Y'all, we in week 5 of the NFL season. And when you think about not only the explosive plays, he's getting into the end zone as well. This is the guy that Carolina paid and thought that they would have outside, but beyond the injuries that he had in Carolina. Now he's healthy. He's touching the ball a lot. He has guys around him that requires attention. And right now he's taking over games with the ball in his hand.
Kmart, why the face?
Because he's wrong. So the answer is Josh Allen.
Well, it's not about being wrong.
Why Josh Allen?
I've been critical of Josh because of how special he is. I think right now you're seeing Josh Allen toe the line between being Superman and Clark Kent. And I think when he finds that middle ground, he is beyond special. And this team, you don't have to worry about Josh Allen doing too much. And since that Jets game that I was at, He's been playing lights out.
The last 3 weeks, he's been the best player in the league. Why Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I love the sense. We were just going to skip one game. We won't count that one, right? We're all about the highs, not about the lows. I don't
He's
know.
won all 4 games this year. He just won the first one for the other team.
Yeah, we try not to do that. The most consistent, it's like Brock Purdy, right? It is a QB award. And so if you go with the most consistent football team, everybody at the table has said it, right? The 49ers. Listen, don't slight, right? Everybody talks about him being he's a game manager. He's blah, blah, blah. The guy in the last 2 seasons has thrown the most tight window passes in the NFL by a large margin. This guy is not just finding open receivers. He is putting the ball in spots. His players are making plays. He does have explosive players on the outside, but he is not just a manager of a game. He's winning games as well.
I'm going to get one more topic in here. Let's do biggest disappointment. I ask everybody for their picks. Dominique, I will start with you as we put the biggest disappointments in the league to this point. Neek.
Yeah, it's been the AFC North. It was a division that was full of, I thought, Super Bowl contenders, and right now it's not looking that way. The biggest disappointment in that division, not just the injury to Joe Burrow, but it's been the Steelers' offense. We expected something special from there, and they're not doing it.
You got the Joneses over there, I see, Jay.
Daniel and Mac. I mean, listen, everybody had these expectations. The Giants made a run last year. They're going to be this. Everybody thought, with Bill O'Brien, Mac Jones is going to make this big stride this year. Both have been utter failures to this point in the season. I think the Giants scored 9 points in the first half, and all 4 games. Like, this thing has gotten ugly in a hurry. I see both these guys were things I thought were going to be in a much better position than they are right now.
Giants haven't scored a touchdown in 2 home games this season. Kmart, you're talking about.
Yeah, so for me, it's the Bengals' whole situation. I don't fault Joe Burrow for getting hurt, of course, but Zach Taylor had even admitted it this week, like, yeah, as play caller, I got to do a better job of putting it in position. I've talked to teams, execs, players who've played the Bengals, and they literally are saying Joe Burrow is not himself. He cannot move. And it's on Zach Taylor to get this offense in a position where Joe clearly doesn't trust his arm to go deep. That's why Jamar Chase is open and not getting the ball. So he's got to do something, and they haven't done anything. It's still the same offense from last year.
Swaggo.
I want to scratch my eyeballs out every time I see them like that. I just don't understand this team for the life of me. They got arguably the best wide receiver in football. Yeah. They traded for a tight end who I think is supremely talented in T.J. Hockenson. The defense was supposed to be better under Brian Flores. They did make a play to kind of seal a game and return the fumble for a touchdown. But you don't know, the Vikings are 1-3, bro. Right.